Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today we've got a very special announcement. And today it's new bike day. So the bike I had was a Bianchi Intenso, and although it was been absolutely mega bike and it served me extremely well and it's been such value for money, I've decided to upgrade and go for something a bit sportier. So this is the Cannondale SYSTEMSIX 2021 model in cherry red and black. So I've gone for the full Ultegra group set here. I went for mechanical, and it's got, on the front it's running a 52 and 36, on the back it's running 11, 30 rear cassette as well. I decided to go for mechanical and not Di2 because it added about an extra £1.5 to the price point, and it's just something that I couldn't really justify because it's a pretty expensive bike already. It's Ultegra rear brakes with the Shimano ICE technology, and these are 160s. It's also running Vision 55mm front and rear, deep section carbon wheels. These are currently got inner tubes in, however I'll either look to replace those or I'll just put latex inner tubes in. It's what I've had before on my other road bike and it's worked really well. Lowers the rolling resistance but also makes it a little bit nicer ride as well. So Cannondale made a bit of a compromise with their SYSTEMSIX in order to make it a really affordable aero bike at a sort of decent price point rather than something too expensive. So they've gone for a semi-integrated system at the front here. So it's integrated all the way through the middle here. However, just a little bit of cabling, just two cables up here at the top. This looks quite messy at the moment. That's because after its first service it's going to get dropped down a few spaces, and then it gets getting cut as well, so that'll be fully good to go for myself, but they're not going to do that until I've sort of really bedded myself into the bike riding it. On here as well you've got the knot handlebars with the integrated mount that comes with it, and it's a nice flat set of aero bars here, and I've gone for 42, I think. Wrong, I've gone for 40, which is a little bit narrower, which is good and it suits me, and it's in fashion to have narrow handlebars at the moment. And finally I've gone for the Pro Logo saddle. It's a bit shorter nose, which I get on with. It's got a nice pressure release channel here and it's sort of fanned, and if you can sort of see from this angle, sort of fanned down slightly each side, and that just helps sort of open up your hips a bit more. It's really comfortable when I did the bike fit and it's something I really got on with, so that's on there. And finally on the other side I've got a Stages crank, 170 mils. I really get on with Stages, they connect super quickly and they're really reliable, and that's why they're one of the brand leaders. And finally, what everyone wants to hear, a free hub check, so here we go. Well, that sounds nice. So overall, this is my bike. It's a 51cm frame. I haven't really properly ridden it yet. However, it's super light, it looks super nice, and I can't wait for the weather to get a bit better to get it out on the roads and to cause some serious damage on group rides. So why did I choose the Cannondale SYSTEMSIX? So it's always been a bike that's been on the radar because I wanted to look to get an aero bike. I wanted to start crit racing properly and just have something a bit fast for the summer. So I narrowed it down to a few, but always kept my options open. I went to a bike shop and they had a thing called Bike Guru, where essentially it's a jig, you get set on it, and they preload the geometries from different frames and different sizes and different setups onto the computer. Then the store assistant cycles through and he goes through the different bikes and it changes and you can feel how you get on with each. Overall, I was looking at the Cannondale SYSTEMSIX, the Canyon Aeroad, and also looking at an Orbea as well. They all felt great, but overall the SYSTEMSIX geometry felt the nicest, and that was done with a bit of a blind test where he just cycled through and I had to decide which one felt the nicest, along with a few cameras and things like that. He looked at my position and adjusted accordingly. If you are going to spend that amount of money on a bike, I would 100% recommend you get it fitted. Either you get a full fit, which costs about £200 in most bike shops, and it's really comprehensive, or use something like the Bike Guru setup where you can get a feel for the shapes and the geometry before you commit to buying it, because you could in your mind really have that you want that certain frame or that certain style, and in your mind it's great, but actually when you actually feel the geometry and in terms of everyone's different, everyone's body's different, and actually it may not be the right one, and actually someone else's bike or another frame that's in a similar price point, similar spec, may be better suited for you. So try and avoid honing in on that one you want. Keep your options open and pick and choose which one fits you best. I'm going to look to do a full review and get a bit of footage whilst I'm on the bike as the weather gets better and we can start getting out there on the roads properly, rather than this winter riding that we're doing so far. So if you like this video, then please click like and subscribe for future content. Also, one thing I forgot to say is a massive shout out to 700 in Windsor. They have excellent customer service. Their advice is always really sensible, and they really have some of the best stock out there and some of the best bikes in the shop. And overall it's been a fantastic experience. So anyone who lives near that sort of Reading, Surrey area, do take the trip to 700 because they're just really great guys and they've been awesome.